Yeah, we're gonna start here. So Aang, Swift Savior. It does have a backside. I can't envision ever doing that, but it does. It's a 3 mana 2/3 flash flyer, and it airbends a spell or a creature. So you can. What airbending is exiling it, and then it costs 2 to cast. It doesn't cost 2 more to cast. So if your opponent casts Zakama and you airbend it, it only costs 2 to cast it again. Or if you bounce Zakama or anything, it costs 2. So not like the craziest thing, but it's symmetrical. So it's sometimes a tempo thing on your opponent, sometimes you do it on your own spell or whatever, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to play my tried and true blue-white control nonsense. It's just going to be flash flying, blue-white flying stuff that there's like 16 different commanders, maybe just like 5 different commanders that sort of do the same thing. I don't even know if this is the best one, but it's new, and I haven't played it. There's the other one, which I did actually craft. I haven't crafted a card in a minute, but there it is. This is like the other one you could just very easily slide into the command zone. I would say it. They go basically into each other's decks at all time. I kind of like this one just a bit more than Aang, but Aang is new, so I'm going to do that. Also, I don't actually think I've even played this, to be fair. Well, obviously I haven't. I just crafted it. So yeah, a bunch of tempo stuff, bunch of bouncing, bunch of flyers, annoying counter spells. I had Teferi in here a second ago. I'm not sure if I'm ever casting a 5-minute sorcery in this deck. Although it does untap lands, and then you can use that land, those untapped mana, to do other things in the same turn cycle. So it's not really 5, but I'm not going to try Teferi right now. So, yep. Enters target hand reveal. I think I've already lost. Okay, well, that's dumb. Okay, we have a bunch of permission, and I'm sure I'll find the window to do something more than Aang at some point. Unless, of course, there's just Delighted Halfling for the 40th time. They got rid of Aang's Journey. Oh, look, it's Delighted Halfling. Again. Wow. Crazy. But they didn't play land first. They messed up. Oh, maybe they didn't have a untapped land. Sarah unable to scream? Well, that wouldn't stop Aang, though. Will they still lose when they cast it next turn? I sure love infinite mana. I don't think there's much to stifle. I could stifle this trigger, and they just have a 4/4. Alright. Okay, well that's odd. That is odd. It feels like it's only good if you play it exactly turn 1. Yeah, I don't want you doing things. I could Tidebinder it. That's just so goofy. Activated or triggered ability. Let's get a white here. Yeah. I think I'm just going to cast... I'm just going to cast this. Is that better than Luminarch Aspirant? It feels like it isn't. So I can Seam Rip the Raptor, and then Cloud, or Tasha's the, Guide of Souls trigger? Or do that. Is that a triggered ability? Can you Tasha's that? Let's do this. Let's play Portable Hole. On the... Alright. Get Schmied it. Wait, what? Oh, they were respecting Washaway, I guess. So playing the tap lane was actually like Galaxy Brain. That's funny. It's actually really funny. Wow. Yeah. Counter this. This random 2-2. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yes. Tempest Gen, yikes. I'm gonna just actually... Yeah, we're just gonna cast this. I'm just going to cast it. You're wrecked. Look at that. Look at that. I just pummeled this commander. Wow, I just pummeled it. The Portable Hole, when I played a tap land, they no longer respected Washaway, so they went in their second main phase and did it. So cracking it was actually massive. Otherwise, they wouldn't have cast it that turn, and the game would have been very different. That's so funny. Oh. Should have played around it. And of course, my play group would probably think it's the most powerful thing in the world, and they'd be like, but it isn't. We're playing EDH. Pock is completely fine in EDH. The only thing that stands out to me is like 2 Field of the Deads when you cast it. You just get 2 Field of the Deads. But that's not that crazy, because your opponent could just like make it so you can't have that. It's pretty... Like, you're a mono green deck. You don't have 5 different land types. It has to be like forest, and then a bunch of non-basics. Snow-covered forest, regular forest, and then 5 other things. Actually, yeah, Pock would be kind of not great in EDH. Now I'm thinking about it, it's actually not that great in EDH. Kind of tragic, really. Kind of tragic. Oh, great. Winter Elves. Fun. I think I have to deal with that immediately. Yeah. Of course I do. Well, it looks like it was crucial to the game plan. Tragic. Oh, they have nothing? Yeah, I'll cast Felia instead of my commander. Alright, look at that. That was easy. All you have to do is kill the mono green player's mana dork and then they just don't want to play that anymore. The attacks is just kind of okay. His hand is kind of okay. Alright, let's see what happens. I have a peek, which I will most assuredly play turn 1. 500,000 total views? How do you know that? Oh, you saw? Cool. I didn't even know that. Cool. I didn't even know that. Let's play... nothing. Yep. We play nothing. That's what we do. Pearl Medallion. Well, that's not great. Split up is... actually, I didn't even look at my opponent's hand. What's going on over there? Do I... portable hole... what is it? Opponent's hand is full of very strange cards, but to be fair, so is mine. Green slop. Momo. Huh? Why are we playing Momo? I think I'll... No. There's no reason to counter that. They could just recast it. I think I just swords the... Wait, what? What are you doing? What is this deck right now? What is happening? I guess we're just chilling. Airbend your things that drew to make more 1/1s. Look, I've never seen anyone successfully play Appa, so I guess it's bound to happen eventually if someone does something that Appa likes to do. Of course, airbending is like the worst thing to attempt to do against this commander. Why would you swing into this, why would you swing into this, like, here? That seems weird. Seems weird. Cycle the Jolted Awake? Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't gonna... I mean, that was inevitable, right? I mean, so far the things they've drawn are just more 1 minute draw card spells. So... okay. This is, whenever this artifact control... decline, because I have Portable Hole, right? Get the old 2-for-1 here. I need more creatures. I mean, I don't... this is like the second time it's happened. I'm not applying any pressure, and the game's taking 10 years. It's antithetical to the temple strategy. Knight of the Spaghetti Orchid. How is that even good here? Why is that good here? Get out of here. Play that next turn. Be gone. I'm not even winning a damage raise. I can't even swing. Is this a sorcery? 6, 7, 8. Okay. Is this the fabled water bend situation that I've heard so much about? Alright, I think I'm probably more interested in Mother of Ruin. No, I'm still not, though. Still just not. Are they trying to... I mean, you can't split up. That doesn't make sense. Why are we thinking about split... I mean, maybe they're not thinking about split up. Airbend, non-land permanent, draw a card. Alright, that's deep. Okay, well, I'm going to make split up annoying to cast. Unless there's something else I have to worry about. Okay, they can infinitely airbend my commander. I'm going to take the split up and just make it annoying to caster. I'm probably going to counter it if they cast it, but I won't react to an airbending the airbender is not very good because it has flash. So hoping for split up. How many lands do I have? 6. They played a land before they cast the knight, which means now the knight does nothing. Seems like a bit of a mistake. Please target my commander. Please. Come on. I mean, why else did you cast this? Decline. They can't swing. They swung last time, but they had a reason to. And they misplayed with the knight, because now it doesn't find a land. Which is honestly not a big deal, but it is something to think about. They can still cast it. I mean, at this point you might as well, right? I'm never going to have more lands than you. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Do I airbend the Spellbinder? I can tax this thing? Alright, they're over it. I think I'm just winning in the air, so I probably shouldn't airbend this, but I have time, because my opponent has just done, like, funny, goofy things that I'm just simply beating. So, I probably could just airbend this, and then have this to make this cost a bunch of mana, but I don't know if that matters too much. This is not the craziest thing to cast here. Yeah, they're running all the airbend cards, and then all, like, the card draw ones. I mean, you have to do something with this card. Everything my opponent played this game would love Appa to target it. So Appa would be like 1, 2, 3. Honestly, Appa and Charming Prince means they just go infinite just like Yorion does. You just keep casting Charming Prince, and you can keep targeting Appa. Yeah, everything they're doing makes sense. It doesn't feel like a starter deck. I mean, it had fetch lands. But, these are the kinds of cards Appa just has to play, right? It just has to do stuff like this. Unfortunately, unlike Yorion, you have to cast everything you've flickered again. All of this is like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What was the other thing? 12. Like, you have to spend an insane amount of mana to get the cards you want back, where Yorion could play the exact same cards and not have to spend mana to recast them. But I guess this has flash, and I guess it makes 1/1s when it does that. The 1/1s are really not that crazy. I don't know. This is profoundly difficult to do anything. I think this is one of the first... Did I play this? I either did and lost every game, or I didn't end up playing it. I'm not sure. This is very difficult to make work. And it can't have blue like Yorion, obviously. Oh, yeah, that's in here. Shilbub? Well, I can... Man, these 3 cards are great if I just do anything. Do we just keep this? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this. Wow, this doesn't actually have reach. How does this not have reach? That's so weird. That's so weird to me. Rampant growth. That's toxic. Whoop. Alright. We're in there. We're doing it. Look at that. We're playing Mono Blue Tempo. This takes me back 8 years. That's not what I wanted. I'm not putting a second one on there. I'm just not going to do that. Okay, huge. Huge. Oh, they missed a land too? Huge. We're at parity with the green deck. I have no answer to this. I have no answer to that, okay. Probably just cast Malcolm, yeah. Obelisk Spider, it has reach. It has reach. Nobody panic. We're tithing. Oh man, the tempo. Oh, beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, this is just peak gaming right here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Oh, I can even cast this in the arena. No, I think I'm just going to chill. I know I can get a card off of this, but I obviously have infinite cards this game. My opponent has to deal with the board anyways before something more meaningful happens. Oh, the turn 1 Sailor into Curiosity is just... Reach, when this enters, make another one. Okay. Those chump block. Oh, they can trade, but then they get hit, and they probably don't want to. Alright, opponent, now you're just being weird. Now you're just being weird. I can't swing with this one. Actually, I can. Yeah, I can. I'm winning. I don't have to do anything proactive. I'm winning. Let's play a land. I guess I will just play this, so Phyrexian Arena draws. I think that's fine. They have to deal with Phyrexian Arena. It's funny, they actually have, like, reach blockers. You don't normally ever see that. Oh, please kill this. Are they confused as to why it's, like, stopping in their draw? This deck is, like, all fight effects, but now they have to cast another one. Okay, and maybe they just didn't have another one. They can't cast their commander, though, so I can easily tap out here. Was that even, like, worth it? Okay, let's just stop the blocks, because it's, like, almost lethal. I'll even do this. I'm not going to static Prison Arena. I think it's a problem for my opponent at this point. I really didn't have to counter the fight. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Okay. I love the spider idea here. This is cool. The spider earned its citizenship. That's funny. Well, unfortunately, my opponent just got schmeeded here, so... That's cool. I like that. I like the actually playing spiders beyond the commander. That's pretty neat. But I can just tempo bully. Although, to be fair, they do have reach, which is really good against me. I just happened to draw the stat-giving things, so I didn't have to, like, be super proactive to the blockers. If I did not have these, those reach creatures would actually be really annoying, which is hilarious. That's really funny. What is this? Okay. Esper Sentinel This might be one of the best spots I've seen it in lately, specifically against a deck like this. Looks like it's going to draw a card immediately. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. They also can't take anything relevant. I mean, you could take the Force... I mean, you have to take Force Spike, right? Wow, you take Ponder? That's nuts. What are you doing? Okay. I'm not taking Ponder. I'm never taking... I mean, this is way worse when you know about it. Way worse when you know about it. Do you deal with this? I mean, if you do, I continue to draw cards, so... Nope. Continue to play the cards my opponent knows about. There's no Orcish Bowmasters in my brain. The card doesn't exist. They're going to play off curve because of the Force Spike. That is well more than worth it. That Force Spike is now just being more relevant than it should be. Because they left it in my hand. You're out of your mind if you think I'm casting my commander. Oh, that was a tempo loss, huh? Snapcaster Mage Duress. There is nothing I can do about that. Do you pay the 1? I mean, I only have one thing to hit, right? Okay, they do, so let's cast our commander. And Snapcaster Mage can just chill. Alright. Well, that was good. Okay. Four, 9, 10, 11, 12. Was that lethal? No, it wasn't. 6, 7, 8. No, it wasn't. Okay. Well, now you have to get through this this counter spell and Solitude. They're both really good against my opponent's deck here. Oh, the tempo against Grixis is just so depressing. That's a tap land. I mean, I don't even think their commander saves them. I will literally let it resolve. It does nothing. Cyclonic Rift. Alright, yep. Get Schmieded. Well, no fetch lands this game, that's for sure. I will lead with funny card. I'm just gonna cast it. See where it gets us. Frogified? Sure, that's fine. That's fine, yeah. Perfectly fine by me. Rhystic Study. I can play around Rhystic Study the entire game. Go for it. I can literally play around that the entire game. Search the library for a basic... What if I just stifled that? What if I stifle this? Let's just get it out of the way, tempo-wise. And then... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, wait, there's no doing that. I think I'll just leave it up. I'll just leave up the water bend. That's fine. Yeah, Ristic Study was well worth letting resolve. Or play around. Mole Drifter. That is evoked. Sure. Could have stifled the Mole Drifter. Could have stifled the Mole Drifter. Also could leave that land in play for Brainstorm, I guess. Oh, that's nice. Put that here. Venser. Stifle? Stifle that? So they have to Essence Flux it? It would still have to block, which it can. It can. No, you have to block first. Oh, wait, no you don't. Oh, yes you do. You made a mistake. You're supposed to block with it first, and then flicker it on my turn. Now you just don't have... Now you don't have it. Oh, wait a minute. I can just... Yeah, I was about to say, ooh, wait a minute. It doesn't work at all. I could just cast Aang and get it out of the way again. That's funny. Man, alright. Well, that was like peak tempo depression against this opponent. Ah, that's really good. Alright, get in there, Selfless Savior. You're up, buddy. Yeah, we're doing this. Okay. Rather strange sequence there. So far, this is way more standard for an IRO list. Although they are running creatures. I mean, they're the mono green creatures, and you don't have to think about anything, but still creatures. You just do nothing? What? You don't even try? What does this deck do at instant speed? Technically that counts. Technically that counts, I guess. Molten Duplication. Okay, so probably some funny combo situation. Draw. Assume my opponent is still not going to block. The ninja is not putting... I'm not ninjutsuing anything, right? No, there's no reason. Okay, I guess I just pass? What do you Molten Duplication? Well, I currently don't know. Look at us go. Could have made another Selfless Spirit instead. Maybe that was worth it. Create tokens copy your control. Oh, okay. So that. Get Schmieded? The Schmiedening? 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. Yeah. They actually had the other piece of the combo there. Guess it made sense, but they knew about the avatar in my hand, which would have stopped this always. So I guess they were just casting it to show me they had it and gave up, because obviously this stops it on its own. They don't need to know about spell color. Activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and... Well, we know there's not going to be a 1-drop. Well, a Minotaur come in. If they kill Mobo, okay. Sure. Nope, that's not what happened. Let's play... Yeah, we're going to play this. We're going to play this. They did just play a commander or a card that actually has activated abilities, so this might actually matter. Activated abilities, artifacts, creatures, yeah, alright. Then I just play turn Ledger Shredder again. Oh, what's this? Okay. Leggies into... Yeah, I'm not going to cast anything else, unfortunately. Right? I'm not triggering this. I mean, we're just dominating absolutely in the air here. Double Shockland has been extremely painful. I mean, if you're going to kill something, you just got to kill the stats. Killing Ledger Shredder is not going to get you anywhere. Norn. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to block. Oh, I guess I would block the 2-1. This is kind of low power here, but there it is, chilling. So, land, swingies. I should wait till after I declare my attackers to kill something. I mean, it's always going to be the same scenario of what I swing with, but I could let this go. I think I will let this go. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Should do this. My opponent's just dying. They have to reinvest a bunch of mana into that, and now it's probably just not good enough to kill this with... Yeah, this is almost a hard counter. They have to find a window to cast it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they're not dead if they cast it again. Killing my commander is not a great solution. Well, they can't target this, because if they do, I recast it on their turn. Oh, water bending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... No, I don't have a good water bend here. Okay. I just won't block it? I think I got my opponent good there, huh? Yeah, we'll just cast this. We'll just cast it. You have to get lost right now. And I don't know if it's good enough. 1, 2... Opponent, no, you need to cast it right now. What are you doing? No! No! Oh, tragic. Okay, well, let's exploit the Momo here. They had to cast it right then and there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they had to. They let me untap with my counterspell. And now, actually, they're dead anyways. Oh, they were just dead anyways, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were dead anyways. Alright. And I obviously have that, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Oh no. What have I done? What have I done? Think. Alright. No. 1, 2, 3. We're still winning. Okay. Nope, no panic. Okay, good. They took max damage here at least. Alright, they're still just completely dead. But that is actually hilarious. Okay. They can't cast a sweeper or anything because Redain's in play. Not that they would be casting sweepers in their deck. Yep, alright. I also would not counter this. Just let it resolve. Cool. Lose to a 1-drop? Nope, I didn't lose to a 1-drop. When this deck plays Delighted Halfling on the play, it's like Slimefoot hops right into play and then you're just doomed. I guess I'll play the Wastes so I can, like, stifle. I really wish I did not leave up the display of counterspell here. That's what I would rather have not done. Oh, they just have Cavernous Souls. Alright, cool. Why not? Why not just have everything you need every game? Opponent decided to play a tap land. It's a bit odd. Alright, get in there, Vendilion Click. I guess I get rid of, yeah, I'm gonna target them. Each player sacks a creature. Rex Sage, I guess I'll get rid of that. Enters, if you cast it, choose target non. No. So that's just so dumb. Cavern of Souls is just so stupid. Opponent, this does not work. You just mill with the ripples? Oh no, you do in your main phase. Oh, that's weird. That's a really strange spot for that card to do stuff. Well, this doesn't have haste, so... Snapcaster might matter. Choose target non-legendary. So let that resolve. Oh, it's a legendary. I just said it out loud. God. What is wrong with me? Okay. Alright. We still got there. I guess there's not a... They didn't have a way to actually get rid of this, and it's stuck in play. And then I can just continuously swing, and they can't really pay 3 life. Shifting Woodland could become problems. Kind of? It's also my opponent's entire turn, so I think we're just chilling. This wasn't as bad as I thought resolving, because, again, there's no... I can't tell you the last time I played against this, and it didn't have whatever that black land is. You sack a creature to it, get 2 black mana. They just didn't have it, I guess. Okay, yeah, Victimize got milled too. Alright, yeah, we can shut down the things around it. And I am winning the damage race at this point. Cool. Yeah, that's annoying. I literally said it out loud 5 times, and I still just decided that, like, Counterspell wasn't a good idea there. That's so annoying. I don't know why I do that. I do that all over the place. In my life, I do that all over the place. I'll read something, I'm like, this is exactly what it does. And then 3 seconds later, I'm like, oh, right. It did the thing I said it does. And then I act it in the opposite way. I do that all the time. Well, I can slow down Garuda. I think I lead with... I don't have a turn 2. I'm not going to curse turn 1. On the off chance there's like a fetch land, which, I mean, this deck doesn't play too many fetch lands, I don't think. Well, that's a little awkward. Let's name human. I did not leave up Stifle. I could have left up Stifle. That was a mistake. This is a human, right? Yeah. Mystic Remora? What? What? That's insane. This is the first time I've seen it. Oh, come on. Really? Turn 3? Whatever. Who does that? You're You're ugly. Look at you. Look at that face. Mystic Remora, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, Mystic Remora drew a card. You got it. They're not gonna block. Yeah, they're obviously not gonna block. It doesn't make any sense. What? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so... Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? What are you doing? Okay, now it's getting crazy. Comedy Central right here. Well, I hope it was all worth it. Because I got this. I think I'm going to target myself. Opponent missed a land drop. Could just target myself. Yeah. Get rid of the stupid stifle. That's not doing anything. We could stifle Garuda's trigger, to be fair. Also, Snapcaster's not doing much. That's subject to change. Okay, I'm going to trust Stifle has text on it in some form or fashion. Okay, well, I mean, I feel like I'm slowly pulling ahead, just damage-wise. Yeah, just gonna endlessly respect the goofy cards my opponent doesn't want to get rid of. Please pay for it again. Oh, opponent. Oh, of course, it's the turn my opponent has, blind draws a land, right? Oh, they didn't use it the way I thought they would. Alright, yep. Nice Mystic Remora. Be ashamed if it didn't do anything. Except make you spend all your mana. There had to be something else that was better than casting Mystic Remora and paying for it. There had to be. I'm a creature flying tempo commander. Of all the things... I mean, okay, it... My brain's just, like, not handling this well right now. Oh, they couldn't cast Garuda. That's right. It costs 8. Never mind. All right. Makes sense. I mean, they would be in the same boat if they did try to cast it. Okay. Yeah, 4 mana draw 1. No, it was more than that, right? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was 7 mana? It was a 7 mana draw 1. They paid for it 3 times. And you have to cast it up front. 7 mana draw 1 there. I don't think Mystic Remora is part of the historic Brawl like situation. There are some spots where you will draw 17 cards, like against Iroh. You play it on turn 5. Don't play it turn 1 just because you can. Like play it on turn 5 or something. It seems really good. But even like... So green cares the least, and green is the best color. It's doing the most powerful thing, and it cares the least about Mystic Remora. It's also just so fast that it doesn't even care if you drew 3 cards off of your Mystic Remora. I think this is probably just an EDH player, and they just like that card, I guess. Which is fine. I don't think this is the format for it. Mystic Remora is legal in other kinds of formats that are similar to this one, and you don't really see Mystic Remora in those either. This is not a multiplayer format. You have to pay for one opponent cumulative upkeep. You do not pay cumulative upkeep for 3 opponents, right? If you pay every 4 turns in a game, because there's 3 opponents, it's way better. If you're paying every other turn, it gets way worse. Yeah, it's just like Rhystic Study. It's the same argument with Rhystic Study. It's just funny that's the first time I've seen it. That's really funny. Okay. Okay, so I actually like this kind of deck when it works, and it does a pretty good job at working. I think what it's doing is fine. Again, there's a lot of commanders that are similar. You have this, you got this. I accidentally forgot about Venser, even though Venser is... We actually played against someone who played Venser, and then I proceeded to forget immediately that Venser's a card. This is just excellent in this deck, I think. But, again, it's one of those commanders, because it's a legendary. I guess by extent, the mono blue ones are different. They're different. I'd say the white spells are pretty nice at shoring up the issues that like mono blue has when something sticks and it got through your wall of disruption and tempo bouncing nonsense. If they just have some threat you can't kill or something, it feels bad. I know mono blue does have a wall of well, and now does all the frogifies, so that is nice. But I do really like the white cards in here a lot. Blue-white tempo flash is just cool. I Okay, so apart from the legendaries and those kinds of options, this was in here at the end because it's been on my mind lately that this is probably pretty good. It isn't good early, right? Like, it's not castable until turn 4 at the least anyways, but I am noticing that it's pretty reliable to get this turned on before you would have it at 7 mana. In this deck specifically, I don't know if it's right because we just do the tempo thing, and obviously this is an awful card stuck in your hand for a while, but I think this is worth considering. There's probably other cards that make this look just completely foolish. You could play Stock Up, you could play another flash creature thing, you could play... I actually took out Preordain. You could play Preordain, right? There's other things that are like fine here. This I never cast, but the Omen is perfectly fine. I think the Omen is excellent. It finds a land if you need one, finds a non-land if you don't need a land or whatever, and then it has the upside of the 6 mana flash portion, which I never cast, but I just like this. I almost like it more than Seek New Knowledge. You could play that as well. You could play Seek New Knowledge instead of this, right? 2 mana, you find 2 cards, neither of them are lands, and then you can shuffle away a card that you just didn't need. So... yeah, this probably is not the deck for that card, but it is something to think about. It has been a card I've been considering playing in a lot of decks lately. Just people are... when every game is 1, 2, 3 drops, and that happens more and more and more, graveyards are filling up ever so slightly faster, and then you just have this relatively consistent 4-mana draw 4. I'm not... with that being said, ironically enough, this deck actually doesn't fill its graveyard very fast, so I wasn't playing stuff like Dig Through Time. The Oculus was never castable, right? You need 6 cards in your graveyard, it was just never castable. So, ironically enough, this deck doesn't actually fill its graveyard, but I think on average, decks are filling the graveyards faster every new set, or whatever. So... what else to talk about? Yeah, all the tempo cards were great. I thought there were more 1-mana reanimate things like this, but I guess there isn't. There's Unearth, or whatever the black one is with cycling. But I thought there were more. There's a bunch that reanimate 2 drops and down. I'd really just prefer the 3 drop and down one. Too many of that card is not great anyways. I like all the Frogifies, all the Heliod's punishment effects. Those are just good. The Curse is good. The tempo cards are great. This was a pretty solid showing of Esper Sentinel. Every time this card comes up, I say it's not as good as it used to be. I think that's still true, even though it was pretty solid here. I saw a Mystic Remora today. I don't ever recommend playing that in this format, but I saw a Mystic Remora for the first time. If ever you wanted to play Rhystic Study, the tempo, super tempo kind of strategies love Rhystic Study. It's kind of like Thalia, except you're not taxing yourself. There's a lot that would get taxed in my deck from Thalia, which I'm not a big fan of. Even like taxing Curiosity. You play your creature, then you cast Curiosity, it costs 2. If you pass the turn immediately, the counterspell that you might be leaving up also costs more than 1, so you've like taxed yourself twice in a turn cycle, and then your opponent's only on this 1 spell a turn thing, so you've actually just gotten hurt by your Thalia more than your opponent. And then Thalia itself can't really swing because it doesn't have flying. There's a flying version of Thalia for 3 mana, but it costs 3, which at that point the tempo of the tax is less impactful. But it does fly. It's not awful. You could take out non-creature spells to circumvent that. But, I'd rather not worry too much. Redain only taxes your opponent. There you go. Just do that instead. It also on the ideal turn, too, because if they cast a Sweeper or Damnation on turn 4, now they just can't do that because your 3-drop said no. The Aven Mind Sensor didn't really do anything, unfortunately, but it's like Stifle, except it shows up kind of late, where it's best against green decks, and they just like already ramp by the time you cast your 3-drop, so it's a little annoying, but it is a flash flyer. We like to get in there in the sky. We like to leave up our mana for our opponent's turn. I think that more than makes up for it. But yeah, Kaito could just be Rhystic Study, right? This is the kind of deck that likes Rhystic Study, and I think this is reasonable to have a Rhystic Study in, and this is hard to, like, defend. I'm trying to kill my opponent. It's a little difficult to defend this. It's a sorcery speed threat. When I think I actually played this as a commander. The weakest point of this commander is, like, finding an actual window to cast it, where you don't just lose when your opponent just goes into their turn. And that logic is still somewhat applicable here in this situation, so... And the, downside of it dying to a lot of things your opponent can do, like even Lightning Bolt, well, not just Lightning Bolt, but damage-based spells, even, like, this is just so vulnerable. Planeswalkers in this deck are vulnerable. Maybe you could just play the Wandering Emperor simply because it has Flash. It can remove something, it can make 2/2s, give stats on flyers. But yeah, Kaito is cool, I like it. I can't say it's that wrong. It's, if I see it in a list of Aang, I think it's reasonable. But if ever there was a Rhystic Study deck, it's this kind of thing. Why does it want me to apply statuses? I like that one more, I guess. What else? Yeah, I took out Preordain. I think Ponder is still fine. I felt like if I ever had Brainstorm, in a lot of situations it was fine. I think there was just enough fetch lands to make this reasonable. But if you don't have, like, consistent shuffle, I'm not a very big fan of Brainstorm. It can still, like, set up early games. Like, oh, it's turn 3, I missed my land drop, Brainstorm. I found the land, Brainstorm locked, no big deal. It's still fine. It's doing what you want to be doing anyways. But Ponder probably just goes in every blue deck ever. But I didn't have Preordain. I did take it out. Could probably put it back in, though. What else? Counterspells are fine. Oh, this card. Didn't do anything. I'm not the kind of deck that's going to cast this for 5. Or, honestly, not even really going to cast it for, like, 4. It's just a little steep. The effect is kind of similar to Aven Mind Sensor, which never really did much. So it's like situational, but is a scaling flash flyer, so why not try it? I just wasn't super impressed with this one. Actually, most of the time I see it, I'm not impressed with it. I think it's like $50 too, which is funny. But it's $50 for reasons that are not Historic Brawl. Not Historic Brawl. The MDFCs are good. I liked this. This is actually funny. I never cast it, but hey, it's actually relevant. It's a relevant 1/4 sometimes. It's actually good. And it's an untapped MDFC, so. No, that's about it. I mean, yeah, most of these cards are very similar to each other, which is a good sign. There's a high degree of consistency here. Another deck, I would say, that actually does like Subtlety. I just don't own it. But if you do, you should probably put it in here. I think Subtlety is solid. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that again. I think I just did that the other day. I'll do it again. This is another blue deck that actually wants Subtlety. But again, I don't own it. Just because I added it to blue decks in a row doesn't mean I like it in all the blue decks. It is case by case. Most decks do not like this card, in my opinion at least. Tidebinder is one of those cards I see from opponents a lot, but every time I see it cast, I'm like, well, that's kind of annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, It's better than Stifle, I guess. It shuts down something permanently, and sometimes that thing it shuts down is extremely crucial, but most of the time, I'm not super excited with this card. I'm really not. It doesn't fly either. So it's just kind of like, Reflector Mage doesn't fly, but I do like the unsummon for a long time thing that this card does. I'm kind of a fan of it. I never saw this come up, though. I don't think I cast this. Maybe I did, but I don't think I did. This could be something else. We are not a blue-white flicker bounce spam kind of deck, even though we can airbend our own cards. So but you can airbend this with your commander if you feel so inclined. The waterbending came up, I think, twice. I didn't think it would come up ever, but it did come up a couple times. And because of that, you could go the route of making this, like, have half as many 3-drops, no 4s, 5s, 6s, like none of the, well, this is 0, I guess, but, like, take out a half of this, add a ton of 1s and 2s, maybe even just all 1-mana spells, just similar to, like, Momo as a commander, and then just waterbend really quickly, and then have this fast 5/5 that all of your 1/1s swing and become 2/2s, right? Like, there's endless 1-mana flyers you could play, and then you can use them to waterbend, and then the next turn swing and have a ton of damage. I didn't go that route, but I think that route is something to consider. I really do. I like that idea. You can also play, like, Takashi's Welcome and all the other draw a card when a little white weenie creature comes into play, so that's an interesting line. I don't think I've seen that, though. Every time I play against it, opponents aren't really reading the waterbend thing, and my mind went the same route, but the waterbending thing is probably real with an army of 1-drops. All of them essentially are just mana dorks for the ability. It is kind of taking a turn off to do that, but it's not that big of a deal if you can swing with this that turn. So, like, I don't know, like 5 lands and 3 creatures, or 4 lands and 4 creatures, and then you tap all of those, and this can still swing and get the counters on the creatures that just tapped to flip it because they're tapped, and it doesn't care if it's attacking, it just cares the creatures are tapped. And you have a fairly fast 5/5 trample that can get in there, hopefully. Hopefully you can do that and also clearly swing without having Aang die. But even if it does die, you have a bunch of 2/2 flyers really fast. That could be something. I don't know, but something to consider there. It would probably look very different, though. A lot of more 1-mana spells, I would assume. 1-mana creatures and stuff. But yeah, I like it. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.